All right, YouTube, welcome to another edition of the Leadership Blend with your host, Ricardo Rice, and my very special guest, Mr. Michael Campbell from Black on Purpose Television. He's going to be talking to us today about his streaming network, Black on BOP, Black on Purpose TV. We'll say BOP.
All right.
So say hello to the people, Mr. Campbell.
How's everybody doing?
All right, we're going to go live in just a few seconds, so everybody hang on. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great interview with your host, Ricardo D. Rice. Can you hear?
Yeah. Okay. Good. What's up, everybody? Here with Ricardo Rice. We're over here. We're over there. We're everywhere. We're making it happen. Love 860 AM, the Leadership Blend.
All right, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another edition of this week's Leadership Blend with your host, Ricardo D. Rice. I hope everyone had a great weekend. You know how I am about having conversations because conversations bring about great topics, and great topics bring about great insight, and great insight helps us be greater people. So hopefully everyone had a great weekend. I know that this week is going to be a great week for me because I am going on a cruise this week for my birthday. So I am excited. For those that do not know, my birthday is on Halloween, so yes, the trick or the treat. I think this year I will be a treat. So we'll see. But me and a couple of my friends are going to the Bahamas, and I leave on Wednesday. So I'm utterly excited. But I'm also excited about what is getting ready to take place on today's show. I know that everyone has heard of the streaming networks, Netflix, Hulu, things of that magnitude, but there is another great streaming network called Black on Purpose Television. And today I have the CEO of that streaming network, Mr. Michael Campbell. Say hello to the people,
Hello.
sir.
How's everybody doing?
I am so excited to have him on the show. It is the first black streaming network, and it is amazing. So he's going to be talking about that on today. I know it's hard to fathom. We talk about the Oprahs and other people who have these networks and things, and there are people in our backyard that have these great things. So I'm not even going to delay this. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Michael. So Michael, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. Tell us about your background, all that great stuff.
All right. So I'm Michael Campbell. I'm president and CEO of Black on Purpose Television. It is the largest black-owned streaming network in the world. It has a viewership of 1.5 million people every day, showing positive images of people of color around the world without negative stereotypes.
Okay. So tell us about your background. Like, what have you done? Where have you been? What prompted this?
Started out in the music business. I really wanted to be, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a race car driver.
Really?
Yes. I wanted to drive race cars, right? But you know how sometimes you get this bit of inspiration, and for me it happened in a school talent show in junior high school.
Really?
Where, some buddies said they made an announcement they're going to have a talent show over the loudspeaker. So my friends were like, hey, let's all get together and do this talent show. So one played bass, one played guitar, I played little drums. And it was that moment. You know how you get this inspiration? You don't know what you're going to be, but this one thing can come in your life. For some, it doesn't come. But, you see this one thing and you say, wow, this is different. This is what I'm going to do. And for me, music, that's how it came about for me in music. And so from there, I'm from Brooklyn. So went from there to junior high school band to high school band, played with a lot of groups, and wound up becoming a music producer, 25 gold and platinum record credits. And
Okay. So since you threw that out there, since you threw that out there, so who are we talking about? Anybody that we would know?
Yes, for sure. So worked with many different groups. Started out at 14 as an apprentice engineer for Atlantic Records.
Wow.
So got to work with, Sister Sledge, Peebo Bryson, Evelyn Champagne King.
Oh, you're talking about all the greats.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about all the greats.
The legends.
The legends.
Sure. And so worked as either an engineer, producer, or musician on just countless projects, and became a voting member, which I still am, of the Grammys.
Nice.
Yes, and so, but I saw a need, and that need was for positive images of us because we weren't being represented and not getting fair opportunities. They call Atlanta the Black Hollywood, but the reality is we're not getting hired in a way that is representative of the amount of people that are here that are talented. So rather than to keep asking, keep begging for permission, we make our own and we make it great and something that it provides education, provides training and everything else, and opportunity.
Nice, nice. Okay, so what goes through your mind? Because I mean, as two African American males.
Yes.
I know you're doing what you're doing, and my father made sure that I understood the importance of education. So that's what prompted me to get my doctorate. Two semi-successful, well, we'll say successful for you. I'm still working. We'll say successful for you. I'm still working on mine.
We're black males, we're making it happen.
I'll say semi-successful, but I'm still working on mine. But what prompts you to start a network? You know, it's one thing to see something and, you know, like I have my radio show, my contribution, but to start a network, what goes through your mind? Like, how did you get there?
Well, I was raising my kids as a single parent, and I had a daughter, and I looked at what things were available to her in terms of programming. So there was Disney, there was things, but there wasn't anything that really reflected our culture in any way.
All right, let's talk about a time period. What years are we talking about?
I'm going to say about 2004 was when I put a group together that was a kids group designed to be a positive image for young black girls. And this group that I put together started to do some television in the local cable market, and it expanded. And I started looking at that and how it was affecting young kids and said, this could be expanded. And then I thought further, and sometimes things happen kind of as a revelation, I guess, more or less. And I woke up one night and I said to myself, this is the most amazing thing I ever thought of. And I thought about the concept of having a secondary mainstream media. Like, why do we always keep trying to get on with somebody else when we could have our own? So I said, instead of a group of people because if you look at the entertainment industry, everyone's trying to get a seat at the table. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, you got 3 seats available and the line goes from here to LA. So what Bop TV essentially does is I tap everybody on the shoulder and say, you don't have to wait anymore. You don't have to do that. You can get off the line. Because bottom line, when you get off that line, now you're able to create, you're able to do the things you finally wanted to do.
Nice, nice. Okay, so 2004, because when people typically think of streaming networks, the first thing people think about is the Hulus and the Netflix, because that's what we've been exposed to.
Right.
So 2004, this predates Netflix before it even was conceptualized.
Yes, I was involved in the streaming media industry when cable modems were just little boxes that made buzzing noises, but the technology was not there yet. So what I had to do was, and as these companies started to grow, AOL and Lycos and all these companies back in the day, I remember they used to send 1,000 CDs in the mail. Like, I never seen that many CDs come in the mail before, except for those kind of things.
Okay, now you take me back to like Columbia House where you ordered all like the 12.
The 12
CDs and the 12. It wasn't even DVDs. It was 12 CDs.
Right.
12 cassette tapes for like a cent, and everybody was waiting for these boxes to come in for music. Yeah, for millennials. Yeah, this is eons ago what we're talking about. But I continued. I digress.
Yeah. So what happens is, you know, we have been asking for a fair opportunity at the seat at this table that we talk about. We've been asking for 1929, 39, 59, 79, 99, 2009. When will we get the idea and get the message that really that we're not welcome at the table? And I'm just being real, right? if you keep being told no, or if that progress is so small each time, right? And you've been asking, it's time that you just make your own. We had Black Wall Street in 50 different places around the U.S.
This is true.
We had other things, so we can create our own. There's nothing that says we can't. And when the technology was, had emerged, I jumped on it and started the network. So it's not really it's like Netflix, but when you open it up, it's actually 16 channels. So there's a news channel, sports channel, arts and entertainment. There's a kids channel, going back to that, with all positive cartoons and positive shows for kids, so that our children aren't picking the white doll over the black doll. If you remember the famous doll test. We don't have to go there. We can create quality things that show us in a way that's positive and brings opportunities.
So on this network, so you said there's 16 different channels. So in each channel, is there like new programming? Is it how does this work?
Okay, so we look for content creators, people that want to make shows, programs that are relevant and positive to the community, right? And that's when I say the community, I mean worldwide.
Actually, before we go there, because on this show, anything we talk about in depth, we have to expound upon.
Okay.
So let's
right.
talk about the image, because
Okay.
we keep going back to saying positive images versus negative images. So let's talk about what does this negative image look like?
Okay. So what happens is when a person submits something to us, it gets reviewed. It's not kind of like YouTube where you can just upload anything you want pretty much. So it gets reviewed. It cannot be offensive to women. It cannot glorify certain behavior that would wind you up in jail and part of prison industrial complex or whatever
So
else.
pretty much no rap videos?
No, it can be...
No rap videos?
No, there are positive rap videos. Every rap video is not sagging or, it's not...
That's fine, but we're talking about, like you said, we're being honest, the status quo, especially of this new age. And it's not all. There are some very good rappers out there who do not, perpetuate that stereotype. And by stereotype, we're talking about the calling people out, the women out their names, the use of firearms,
Sure.
Drugs, things of that magnitude, things that have almost become, and I hate to say this, but it's the reality, our reality, that have almost become synonymous with African American males.
Yes.
So when we say negative images, I'm going to say for the both of us, that's
Sure.
what we're referring to.
Yes.
So that's when we say negative image, that's what we're talking about. But I digress. I just want to put that out there.
So what happens is when we're putting the programming out there and we choose that programming very carefully, there's a group of people that I would call awoke people that are more and more young people, more and more millennials, are more aware of themselves, more aware of positive images, and they really want to get their message out there. And they're viewers, and for us, at this moment, 1.5 million every day that tune into this kind of programming.
Okay, so are there, because we are dealing with a mindset within the African American community, is there, and this is a segue, and I just happened to see this morning, so it was the first thing on my mind, affiliations.
Yes.
NAACP types of affiliations, do you have those kinds of things to help with this, to create this bigger picture?
Yes, we do. We've amassed a group of people, and we could talk about it after the break, but some really amazing people that we're partnered with, and we're growing. So
because we are getting ready to go to break, which that was a good observation that you saw that. You see me looking at sky.
Yes.
We do the hand thing. Okay, so there is... I lost my train of thought just that fast. Thanks, Sky. Jeez. You know what, on that note, we're going to go ahead and take our first break. So everybody stick around with the Leadership Blend with your host, Ricardo Rice, and my guest, Michael Campbell. All right. So everybody, that was our first segment, and we are talking with Michael Campbell from Black on Purpose Television. So it's, again, going back to the stereotypes. So one of the goals, the major goals of, and when we say BOP, because I know I'm going to say it, because Black on Purpose Television, every time it's going to be a lot. So I'm going to say BOP, because that is the acronym that he uses. So we're going to say BOP. So one of the bigger things is dispelling the stereotype. So, are we talking about getting into movies, film, things of that magnitude? 'Cause I've been
Yes.
on it, but I haven't had a chance to really go into it because it is 16 channels.
Yes,
So-
and so yeah, there's a movie channel, there's a TV show channel, there's an inspirational channel. So there's 16 different channels, and they're quite varied. In addition, we got a school building that we're buying from Atlanta Public Schools in the Black community to turn it into a center for media arts and technology. The first television studio created in the Black community.
When we said Black, are we talking about like Jonesboro Road, like
I'm
area?
talking about.
What we
I'm
talking
talking
about?
about
The real.
I'm talking about MLK.
Oh, it's what the real.
Near Westview Cemetery. Now, okay.
Oh, he's talking about the real areas. Okay. Well, I saw the video on that, so I know that has it already been purchased or it's in.
We're doing the legal stuff. We're doing the stuff right now.
How many? So it used to be a school.
Yeah, used to be Rosalie Wright Elementary School.
Okay, because I saw the video of that on YouTube because
Yes.
I did Google you when this information was passed. Let me Google him and look at it and see what this is about. But so yeah, okay. All right, everybody, we are back on this week's edition of the Leadership Blend with your host, Ricardo D. Rice, and my very special guest, Mr. Michael Campbell from Black On Purpose Television, the first Black streaming network. I'm still excited. I feel like I'm sitting next to like Russell Simmons or something because, you know, it's the thought of having a streaming network that shows positive images for the African American community is amazing. So when we left to go on the break, we were getting into some preliminaries about it. So let's jump back into it. So we were talking about the 16 channels.
Yes.
And each channel caters to a different audience.
Yes. Yes. So there's a wide demographic. So you've got the channel, for example, arts and entertainment has dance as one of the categories. So everything from Alvin Ailey, Dance Theater of Harlem, African dance, everything you could name that represents us as a history of dance, right? Same thing with spoken word poetry. Same thing with musical artists. So we've never before collected our material in one place where you could go to it to say, what is that Black experience like, both today and back in the day, right? So if I want to see somebody that's current, that's a new artist, that's positive, or if I want to see Patti LaBelle back in the day, right? I could see all of that. So usually when a television network starts, it plays the same thing. The Jeffersons, Good Times, Martin, Living Single, I could keep going on, right?
This is true.
And so what I wanted to do was give opportunity to new people that are coming up that are doing things that are just as good. So you don't see on our network any of the typical celebrities you see on regular TV.
I did notice that. I was like, okay, this is different because I remember flipping through some of the channels and I remember one in particular, Soul Train. Mm-hmm. And I think it was the Whispers, I want to say. Okay. And I was like, okay, this is different. This is different.
Right. It's designed to it pays homage to the legends in the industry. And it falls off around 91, 92 and picks up with new positive artists. So it's definitely different in that regard. But also, what makes it special is the wide range. So you have stuff for kids, you have sports, you have news, and it's news that affects our community, things you don't normally see in mainstream news that would not get covered for a lot of reasons.
Okay, so let's talk about that news channel. So is that like a nightly news program, or is something that's recorded the day, that's shown the next day? So like that wouldn't work. I'm about to say, so like yesterday's news would be filmed yesterday but shown today type situation, or is it live news like we see on Live 5 every day?
No, so it's on demand. So it's not live like right now we're live. But on our network, everything is taped, just like it is you'd see on Netflix. So you follow what I'm saying? So you choose. So if you went to the sports channel, then you would go to the sports channel and pick whatever sports film or sports show you wanted to see. And And people today want to really see shows when they want to see it.
This is very true.
And hence why we have, Facebook
YouTube!
and YouTube and all that good stuff, so that, they can come back to it.
This is very, very true. Okay, so let's go back.
Okay.
So you have this idea for a network.
Yes.
Was there a business plan that you came up with, or were the connections that you made while you were in the industry you were able to say, okay, well, I want to do a streaming network. Let me call XYZ, and they were like, here's money, here's money, here's money.
No, it does not happen like that. No.
I just want to put that out there because you were in the music industry.
That's true.
So I just wanted,
And I'm not going to front. It helped. It definitely
I was about to say, you're not going to tell me
Right.
that you didn't have some kind of connections to make this happen. Everybody on my show knows why I'm asking this. I ask this because my show at its core is a business and leadership show. So I do go over business plan, marketing plans, things of that magnitude. Mm-hmm. So when I have guests like yourself come on, I want to show everybody what that process looks like from inception to execution. Okay. So if they have some outside help, I want that to be able to be said, hey, I had a little outside help, but this is still what it looked like.
Right. Well, let me tell you, it's often for us not a pretty picture when we're starting a business because, as you know, a lot of sacrifices made. So I'm going to share with you mine, taking you from where I was to where I am.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
I'm with it.
So in 10 years, I've been here about 10 years, came here from Las Vegas where I was working for a well-known film company. Right, which I'll go on.
I was to say when you say well known, and then you give me that look, I'm like, okay, I feel like I should know what that is.
And so, a buddy of mine said, I'm moving to Atlanta, and I was trying to decide when I thought of doing the network. I said, where would be a good place? Should I go back home to Brooklyn? Should I go to California? What should I do?
Okay, what year are we talking about?
Maybe 09.
Okay.
Yeah, 08, 09. So I decided on Atlanta. So he was taking a trip with his wife to Atlanta because they're from Savannah, but they were going to perhaps move.
That's my old stomping ground.
Oh, really?
I'm from South Carolina, but we used to have a good time in Savannah in the early 2000s.
I heard there's good times.
Yeah, it was some fun times over there in Savannah, GA. But I digress.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
So what happens is when I got here, at first I wasn't sure if I was ready. You know how when you get ready to take a business move, you're like, should I start this business? Should I not? So I was kind of saying, should I do this? I moved in. My friend just said, just get here. I said, well, I don't know should I wait maybe another couple years to get enough money? Maybe I don't have enough. He said, just show up at my door. I got you, right? So I moved in with him, his wife, his baby, his mother-in-law, his 2 cats and a dog, I can't make this in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Wait. Did you say a 2-bedroom apartment?
Yes. The wife, the husband, the baby, mother-in-law, 2 cats, 1 dog. Right. So
God, just from humans, that's 4 humans alone. Like that's
it was cramped, but I'm gonna tell you, I did that for 6 months. I didn't know a street in Atlanta. I didn't know a soul, nothing. So when they would get off work, or if one was off, I would use the car and I'd do my little kind of, let me see. I just get lost, I just start driving around.
Wait, well, okay. We're talking about 2009, 2010. Okay, I was about to say, was this predate GPS? But no, by then.
No,
GPS
there was a little something. Yeah,
GPS. Something. Okay,
yeah.
Good. Carry on.
But what was interesting was I had to kind of learn the environment. I didn't know where Lithonia was. I didn't know people are telling me all these different places. I had no idea. But, it came together. It came together. And it's about stepping out on faith. It's about, of course, having all those. There's many people that have a business plan that done all those right things, but they still don't step out.
This is true.
There comes a time where you just have to step out and you have to do it. So, and I did that. The technology, we had many companies that said they could do the technology that I wanted. But this is like Netflix supercharged, because Netflix is a channel and we're 16 channels.
Oh yeah, that's
you follow?
Yes.
So it needed special coding. It needed to be done in a special way. And so different companies were saying, oh, we could do it. And a lot of money was spent along the way working with these bogus, or at least at that time, bogus companies who said they could deliver what I needed. Finally, I found a group of people out in New York, some coders, that were like, oh, we could make this happen, and eventually it did. But it took about 2.5 years just to get this to work from a technology standpoint, because it was very advanced and still is. And we own the intellectual property to our design and how it's configured, so that no one else can do this thing that we do. Right?
All right, that's a very important word, intellectual property. So that is particularly IT people. If you have something that needs, like he was talking about, coding, things of that magnitude, you want to make sure that you gain the rights to intellectual property. It's just like with music, publishing rights and things of that magnitude. If you're not familiar with these terms and you're in IT music and things of that magnitude, you need to get familiar with these terms. Intellectual property, publishing rights, all that good stuff, royalties. You get into all those kinds of words when you get into these kind of industries. So you definitely want to know what they mean. That's actually impressive that you own the property, the rights to your intellectual property. Okay, so that's a good point. Now getting into streaming, because I'm not going to lie and say I'm well versed in streaming. I am not. Like I said, when we hear streaming, we only think of certain things that we see. So whereas the Netflix and the Hulus are one channel that just have a lot of content,
Yes.
you're 16 channels with various content throughout those 16 channels.
Over 6,000 pieces of content that you can watch. It's clearly an archival thing. So where Netflix and the others will kind of rotate material, if something's not moving or they just want to change.
Yeah, they
up.
cycle every month they cycle in and out.
Yeah, we keep adding to the collection of who we are.
And it just stays there.
It just stays there. And we just keep adding to it, so that I hope it'll get to, 25, 50,000 pieces at some point.
So as it gets older, how does that work for spacing? Like, I'm sure I can't even fathom
It
how
just
much.
it just takes up more hard drive space, more server space, because the goal is for it to be an archive for history, for education, for whatever you need. You can go back and see who that person is and what they did, what they accomplished, and that's important. Excuse me.
So is there a way to, like, if you were to go on to your site, is there a way to look up, let's say, Patti LaBelle, and it searches the 16 channels and it just pulls up Patti LaBelle stuff? You have to go through that particular channel.
You have to go through that channel. So right now we're on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, all smart TVs manufactured worldwide, all Blu-ray players manufactured worldwide, and TiVo. So the expansion will be in January, I prayerfully, to 32 channels.
Sir, you...
Hey, if I'm in the lead,
I can't
need
even fathom, like, what does your team look like? Like, are we talking about 100 people? Like,
no, because technology only allows, we have a small group of people. 5 people run this whole company.
There's no way.
Listen.
That 5 people, Michael, you're not good. 5 people run
people.
16 channels.
5 people, because the technology is there, and we got it down.
You know what? I'm not trying to hear this right now. I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to hear this from Michael right now. Okay, how much time we got left, Sky? Oh, we got 2 minutes. You lucky, because when we come back, you are so lucky, because I want to hear this hierarchy and I want to hear this team and what they do, because you have explained this to me, that 5 people can run a streaming network with 16 channels, which is about to be what, 32?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take a break because I can't fathom that right now. So we're going to take our second break, and when we come back, we're going to delve more into Black on Purpose television with Michael Campbell. Stick around, the Leadership Blend with your host, Ricardo D. Rice. Michael, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry, people. YouTube and Facebook Live, I'm not buying it. You're not going to make me believe that 5 people can run a streaming network with 16 channels. How is that possible?
The technology. So what happens is there's a person that uploads the videos when they're approved. That's one person. But in all fairness, we wear many hats.
Oh, sure.
Right. So one person is not just the upload person. They're the upload person, and sometimes they're a camera person. And
Oh, see, y'all do.
sometimes
Okay, so y'all doing everybody has 10 jobs, but we get it done.
Exactly.
Okay, see, you should have said that. You should have
Right.
said
No,
that.
no.
Then,
That's
okay,
not-
now I get it. So
Yeah.
that means that's good and that's bad though, because that means everybody knows how to do every job.
Yes.
But when it comes to accountability, does
Well-
that make it a little harder?
Well, it does, but a person will essentially sub. Let's say somebody else can't do it. They've taught somebody else, and they can do that one thing, but they step back into their lane. You know, if we just kind of fill in when we're needed and help each other, and that's really important. We just did the mayoral debate for the city of
we need to talk
Atlanta.
about, because I want to get one of those mayor candidates on here, and I'm having a hard time. So I got a feeling you can make a couple of calls and make one of that happen.
Yeah, I think I could do that.
So we will have to talk about that. That and me taking this to television.
That's what I'm talking about.
He threw that out there first. I just want to say
That's
he threw that
what
out
I'm
there
talking
first.
about.
I was thinking it, but I wasn't going to be.
Yes.
I wasn't going to do that. But he said that immediately when he sat down. So yeah, we might be going to television, but we're going to see how that works.
I think he'd be good on TV.
You know what? When a CEO tells you something like that, you just go with it. You just go with it. So, you know what? I'm willing to go with it, and you know, I have apparently I have a face and a voice for television. We'll see how that works. So we get ready to come back from break. All right, everybody, we are back on this week's edition of the Leadership Blend with your host Ricardo D. Rice and the amazing. Well, we're gonna see how amazing he really is when he breaks this down. About the 5 people, which we were talking about on the break, Mr. Michael Campbell from Black on Purpose Television, or BOP. So when we left to go on break, he was explaining to me how 5 people run a streaming network with 16 channels. So go ahead and tell everybody what you said.
Okay, so basically, we wear many hats, and that's by design. You know, when you have businesses, new businesses, you have to wear many hats. You know, you learn different things, and so we have camera people that also know how to upload the videos. We have people that know how to do some of the paperwork, but there's dedicated things. So our COO, Donna Hazeltine, she does all the contracts. So I kind of, at first it was me, and then I put that on to her. And she handles those things. She does an amazing job. And she's kind of overseer of everything, because as a COO, you find that the thing you're winding up doing mostly is raising money and making deals and establishing relationships.
All right, for those who do not know, COO is Chief Operating Officer, for those that don't know. Because we always hear CEO, but COO is they're the person that handles more of the day-to-day type stuff, things of that magnitude. Okay, I just want to throw that out there.
Yes.
Use the acronym so people know
Absolutely.
what that means.
So what happens is she does that and kind of keeps things running while everyone else handles. We have large production schedule because we have some of the content that comes to us, most of it like HBO, we play things that other people give us. They're already finished, the show is already done, and we just air it. Then there's people that come to us that say, I have an idea, but I don't have the wherewithal to finish it. And then we do partnerships, right? Then we also do our own shows that are kind of like, HBO is an example, a HBO special, a documentary or a TV show.
So that's what the mayoral thing was. Would that be?
Yes, that was
okay,
us.
That was considered that.
Yeah,
okay.
That was us. So what was historic about that was it was the first time that there was ever a televised debate on a black television network that came to the black community to really, really talk about issues that affect the black and Latino community. So we had Dr. Wilmer Leon. Oh, my YouTube is stopped. Okay, we'll get it back. So
I have mine. I'll tag you.
Okay, nice. So we had Dr. Wilmer Leon from SiriusXM Urban Voices.
Oh.
He was the host of the show. And it was absolutely amazing. It was an amazing debate. It's going to be on BOP TV next week. We're on post-production of it right now. We put a little something on YouTube on it, but it's going to be fully on BOP in a few days. So we're really excited because it was a milestone, but mainstream media downplayed it for despite the historical nature of it, it was held at the Shrine of the Black Madonna Church, which is a historically black church, deeply rooted in positive kind of things for our people. So it was just an amazing event. But again, mainstream downplayed because it was so big, because it was so awesome. But we're going to keep it moving, and we're going to keep our movement growing. We need to create the next Black Wall Street, and we need to do it house by house, business by business, consumer by consumer. Nielsen, the who does the television ratings, did a ratings recently that said that African Americans watch more TV than anyone else, and that we buy more things off TV than anybody else.
Absolutely.
So if that's to be true, and they're considered the gods of ratings,
I'm not gonna lie. I read Nielsen's faithfully because I love. They have Zap to It, which is cut through that gives you every day on the stuff you actually watch. I don't know why I'm into that kind of stuff. Maybe I was born for TV.
I'm thinking that.
Maybe I was born for TV.
You're proving that as we go into this.
Secretly, this was an interview. I didn't tell them that, but secretly, this was an interview for my own TV show. Secretly, but I digress. Secretly, that's what that was. But I don't know. I've always been fascinated with Nielsen, and for those that don't know, like you said, Nielsen measures who watches what's being watched. If you go to Zap to It, they show you. Each day's breakdown. They could do it by day and by week. So I personally love scripted shows. So I love the Scandals, How to Get Away with Murder, Empire. So I like to, particularly black shows, I like to see what they look like in the grand scheme of things. And that is ironic that African Americans do watch the most TV, and we do spend the most money. Like you said, mainstream would tell you otherwise,
right.
But we are the ones that spend the money. So it becomes essential, especially for you, that we captivate that audience. So with that being said...
Well, the goal is to get black businesses to advertise on the TV network effectively. So what happens is, because that Nielsen study went on to say, not only do we watch more, but we buy more things off TV. So if we buy more things off TV... then why aren't the commercials being made reflecting the people that watch more and buy more? That's a whole nother conversation.
I was about to say, so that's another show. That's a whole other show. Like, then you get into marketing and marketing plans and who's being catered to and what's the demographic and the age groups. Yeah, that's all my MBA stuff. Yeah,
yes, that's shining through.
All that stuff. See, I know a little something. Like, I know a little something. I went to school. I paid these money for these good degrees.
Yes.
So yes, that's definitely. And again, these are the kinds of things that people don't actually talk about, that we do spend the most money. We are watching the most TV. And I think I will use, for example, Empire kind of proved that, because it was kind of like, oh, well, they don't really watch TV. Give us something worth watching, and you'd be amazed. Because when Empire first came out, it was kicking butt. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't think they expected it to be as big as it was. And in the second season, then people started scrambling, and it just changed.
Right.
So now, I looked at the numbers the other day. I was very disappointed, but it happens.
Yes.
And then we know that Scandal's getting ready to leave. It's in its last season. So, hopefully, we can find... Well, we got the next generation here.
We absolutely do.
Maybe I'll be the next,
Well,
scandal person or something,
People are leaving traditional cable TV and going to connected TV, because you go down and you buy a Roku box or a Fire Stick or whatever, you got no monthly bill. Mm. Some channels are pay, you got to pay, but most of them are free. So, and I can watch it when I feel like it. Mm-hmm. So it's very cool, because I could carry the thing in my pocket and go to somebody's house and plug it in.
Yeah, because I have a Roku in the den, I have a Chromecast in the bedroom, and I have a website on my Surface. So people come to my house like, oh, so we're going to watch cable. No, you're not watching cable. You're going to watch all this stuff that Netflix has, all this stuff that Hulu has, and you're going to look on this website. And now we're adding, you can learn about your history. You can go on Black on Purpose TV and watch your history and stuff like that. So you got everything you need, and I spend $20 a month.
Exactly.
So I'm good with that. I'm perfectly fine with that.
The cable industry lost, in the first quarter of this year, 765,000 subscribers.
Jesus.
That's almost 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, that's
right.
A lot.
Because it's changing. It's changing. People's viewing habits are changing. They're watching it on phones, on computers, every way they can, and they like that portability of being able to do that. So, one of the challenges for me, and businesses always have challenges in marketing or whatever, one of mine has been to explain to a person, oh, I'm on Roku. And they say, what is that? So sometimes I got to start there.
Yeah.
You know? And so when I'm talking to a business owner and I'm trying to explain to them about what all of this is to try to get them to advertise, that's another challenge. But it's growing, and as it grows, I'm there already, and that's the advantage.
It's like you need a team of interns, some
Yes.
good college interns.
Well, you know what? I have reached out to Clark Atlanta University. I've reached out to Spelman, reached out to Morehouse. It's just difficult for me, it's been difficult to get the bureaucracy of all of that. And I'm right down the street from them, right? Howard University reached out to me. They heard me on Sirius XM. Howard, they reached out to me. And I flew to D.C. and I looked at it and said, why? I mean, Howard's a great institution and we're going to work with them. But we've got so many great ones right in my backyard. Why aren't we Why aren't we all tying in? And that's another.
Yeah, that's that whole Black Hollywood Atlanta thing. It
Black
sounds
Hollywood,
nice
it's a
in
myth.
theory.
Yes.
Exactly. I tell people it's nice in theory, but when you live here and you see it's a whole different ball. It's a lot of us here.
Yes.
But when it comes to working in a collaborative effort, you have to know the right people and be able to talk the right kind of language. And sometimes it's not even good verbiage that we use to make these deals. But that's something I can actually help with. I can lend my hand in it. I'm an alumni of 2 colleges here. I can lend my hand in that one because I want to make contributions. So
Nice.
I can lend my hand in that. And it's always good to you and to throw this out to business owners. It is for those individuals who've graduated from these kinds of institutions, regardless of the city you live in, reach out to your alumni associations. Go back, get some interns, help them. I'm thinking about getting interns for my show, to give them the radio experience and things of that magnitude, because most people know none of my degrees are in communication. None. They're all pre-law, political science, MBA, organizational leadership. My major was not communications. It fell on me.
Yeah.
But I love it. I enjoy it. It's been 7 months. I think 28 shows later, yay. 28 shows later, I'm getting the hang of it. But I would like to give people who are majoring in communications and things of that magnitude the opportunity to actually experience this so that they can have a hands-on experience and go out and change the world and things of that magnitude. So I definitely want to help you with that. Okay, so let's talk about, because we have 4 minutes, and then we come back, it's going to be really short.
Okay.
So let's talk about what the future of BOP looks like. Like, what is your goal, let's say for the next 3 years? What is your goal?
Okay, so the business model is we go in different communities and we buy school buildings. So we're beginning with our first one in Atlanta.
Oh, that was the plan.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So the first one is the Rosalie Wright Elementary School. And so we're taking that and turning that into a film, television studio, business incubator, and a co-working space, a theater, recording studio, dance studio, etc.
Wait. All that in one building?
Yes, it's 25,000 square feet. It's a school building. So we take that, and now all these content creators have a place to now come, and it becomes a hub. So you have an office space for people in production. So now we have low-cost office space to grow, right? And all the facilities there. And we then do one there. They saw me on a show. I was on another show, and City of Detroit reached out to me, and I flew to Detroit, and they said, we got school buildings. And so there it began. So the goal is, like you have an NBC in New York, NBC in Washington, NBC in Chicago, there'll be a Black on Purpose TV in various cities, the top 20 cities with African American populations. And all of those cities will be creating, making things, and spitting them out on the network.
Okay, I just want to say I want in on both angles. I want to be in to help expand this so I can use my stupid degrees. And I want to be in front of the camera. So I just want to put that out there. I just want to put that out there. Y'all hearing it today on this show that I will not only want to be on it, but I want to help expand it because that's an amazing vision. So I just, okay, carry on. That gets me excited.
So that's the goal because, oftentimes when we start a business, we want to be in the fancy area. But meanwhile, the people in the fancy area are trying to move back into your areas. So think about that. If it's good enough for them to come back to buy and
yeah, but they're gonna bring in gentrification. They're gonna change the whole face.
That's takeover, which is they're doing a Christopher Columbus
You know what? I will not. I'm staying neutral. I'm staying neutral. But I know what you're saying. But I know what you're saying. But I'm staying neutral.
Yes.
I'm staying neutral.
I just said that in honor of Columbus Day,
Yeah,
throw that in there.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, I saw that. That was a nice little throw out there. Okay, so we only have a minute left, so I'm not going to get into anything. When we come back from break, we're going to get Michael's final thoughts, and we're going to finish talking about what BOP will look like in a couple of years. Please stick around on this week's edition of the Leadership Blend with your host, Ricardo D. Rice. You're not about to trap me throwing out those little comments. That's what you're not about to do. You're not about to catch me throwing out those little comments. That's what's not going to happen on this show. I stay neutral, people. I stay neutral. I can be insightful and neutral.
Well, it is black on purpose. So, I keeps it 100.
I need you to keep it cute. Keep it cute.
All right.
Keep it cute.
I got you.
You've done well in the first 3 segments. Keep it cute.
Yes.
But I just want to say to everybody watching that this is an amazing experience for me. Like I said, being new in the radio industry and only having been doing my show for 6 to 7 months, and to have someone like Mr. Campbell here who has a vision that is amazing. And like I said, I've seen that building. I saw the video, the YouTube video of the building y'all getting ready to purchase. What are we talking about? Are y'all gonna gut that whole building, most of it?
No, we're gonna keep most of it original, make a high-tech kind of look out of it, right? We're gonna keep a couple of classrooms original, like it was back in the day, in case we need to shoot something in the building using that. But a lot of people give plays and give things, and they don't have low-cost theater space to give a lot of these productions. We're gonna give it to them at half the price of what they would normally pay, but they gotta air it on BOP TV.
That's not a bad trade-off.
It's an excellent trade, and they can still sell their tickets. They can still make their money. They get it on the cheap, but it gets also broadcast on BOP,
which is good for y'all.
And it's good.
It's exposure and things of that magnitude. That's not bad. Pretty suave there, Mr. Campbell.
Thank
Pretty
you,
suave
sir.
there.
Thank
Pretty
you.
suave there. Okay, so I get it. I'm trying to think. There's so many questions to ask in one short. This is one of the very rare times this is too short, because there's so much that goes into something like this that trying to normalize it or put it into an hour format is just way too much. So I'm trying to think what is stuff that people really should know before we head out. And all my Facebook Live people, definitely ask your questions while I have Michael here, because I can see it. So definitely ask your questions, because it's our last segment. All right, everybody, we are back on this week's edition of the Leadership Blend with your host, Ricardo D. Rice, and the great Mr. Michael Campbell from BOP, or Black on Purpose Television. So when we left to go on break, we were talking about what BOP will look like in another couple of 3 years. So we were talking about the expansions of the buildings, and what else?
Okay. 32 channel expansion, and then available on Apple TV, Google, and part of Google Fiber, Google Chromecast. Also moving on to computers and to mobile devices as well. Then we'll make a transition that those 2 platforms, there'll be a fee, probably $4.50 a month. So still, Netflix, I believe, is at $8 or...
It depends. They've gotten grand. So now they're at, I think mine is like $9.99, but then, well, that's Hulu. Because there's Hulu and there's Netflix. Netflix is typically pretty standard. They only... Is it just them? Because one of them charges you for the number of people, the number of TVs that you stream to.
Oh, okay.
But then Hulu, and that's the annoying part about Hulu. Hulu has a bunch of commercials, which I understand, but it's just like watching regular TV. It's annoying.
Right.
But then you can pay an upcharge from $9.99 to like $11.99, where you don't have to have commercials.
Okay.
So,
gotcha.
But Netflix typically stays pretty standard. Theirs is, I think, like $9.99, unless you add a bunch of other TVs and stuff. Then I think it goes to $11.99.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the goal, the expansion to those other devices. And I urge people, visit the website, blackonpurposetv.com, and there's buttons on there to, if you want to advertise, if you want to know about submitting your content, if you'd like to donate and invest in some way, all that's available to you on the website.
Okay. All right. So buildings in all the major cities. Changing the platform and things of that magnitude. What about you personally? Like, what do you want to be sitting next to the Oprahs and the CEOs and so well, like what is it for you personally? Because as business owners, and we often forget, I'm not saying you, but we often don't make plans for ourselves. So we think about the business and what that looks like, but what do you want your life to look like? Do you want to be sitting on a beach in Tahiti while your money's making money? Do you want to be in the fight, in the forefront? Because secretly in my head, you're like a Black Panther in my head. Like that's what I think of as you speak. Like he's a low key Black Panther. And for those, if you don't know what a Black Panther is, go look it up. I'm not even about to get into that. Go look it up. But they made their point. So what is it like for you?
The company runs off a philosophy of doing good for people, and oh, by the way, as a result of those good deeds, we make money. It's not the other way around. It's about doing a service, providing opportunity, and as a result of that, we earn money and earn revenue. So for me, I would like to, not Tahiti, but San Diego.
Wait a minute. How you gonna downgrade from Tahiti to
I love San Diego. I just got to say it. I've always loved San Diego. I think the place is amazing. I think it's the bomb. And that's
you showed your age on the bomb.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
We'll go with that.
Well, I'll tip my hat to you on that, sir. Yes.
San Diego.
Yes.
Okay.
Check it out. Once you go, you'll go again. I guarantee you, sir.
San Diego. Okay, so you want to buy a timeshare in San Diego?
No, a house where I can, on the beach, where I can hear
See,
there
goes the beach, and there goes the beach
yes,
thing.
There's
so I knew it was
five of
coming.
them. Yes.
I knew that was coming.
Yep. I want to hear the waves crashing against the rocks. That's what I want.
Okay, well, I lived in Myrtle Beach, so I've already had that experience.
Okay.
I've lived in Myrtle Beach. My undergrad was in Myrtle Beach, so I know that experience. And it is a very nice and calming thing.
Yes.
So I definitely get it. I understand. All right, so final thoughts. Let's just say what the industry looked like, what it looks like, and what you think it should be. And then once you finish that, go ahead and give all your information so people can get in contact with you, things of that magnitude.
Okay, so there are no traditional mainstream stars on the network, as you pointed out. We create our own stars. The object is to have a new mainstream, right? To give new opportunities, because there's talented people just as talented or better, but we keep recycling and regurgitating the same people.
This is very true.
So this is a platform for people that want to break away from that and really have opportunity. Opportunity to grow, opportunity to earn money, and do what they've always loved to do.
All right, let me do a segue real quick, because I just thought about this. For somebody who, for instance, and I'm going to shout out my cousin, LaShonda Willis, I'm shouting you out, and I'm putting you on Front Street right here in front of Michael. My cousin does screenwriting. Mm-hmm. What would she need if she were to come to you? Just a script, or what would she need?
We do a pitch meeting, right, where they pitch, and they do we do an evaluation to determine. We don't say no. If something is not ready, we help them to get it ready. It may mean classes, it may mean training, it may mean something, but the goal is to give that opportunity to everybody. Even if they're not ready, we get them ready.
Okay.
So that's a difference that, you go to a major studio, if it's not ready, you may not ever get seen again.
This is true. Mm-hmm. Okay, carry on. I just want to throw that in because I thought about that.
Yeah, so the goal over the next 10 years is various cities, all these locations, and please visit blackonpurposetv.com to learn more. There you can submit information, you can find out about all the many things we have to offer, and please get involved. I want more people to become involved, particularly in the communities all over the world, basically, because that's what it's about, creating this whole environment or ecosystem of people of color communicating with each other.
All right, you got 4 more minutes, so carry on.
Nice. I got time.
Yeah, you got time.
Well, I was trying to.
I know. I saw you watching me.
I'm watching you, watching him.
Michael, stop trying to play me. I got this. Me and Sky got this. You just keep talking. I'll give you a look when you're done. So you got like 4 more minutes. You got 4 more minutes. Carry on.
All right. So the way this entire process works is it's designed, as I said, to create new stars, to create new people. Let's say you and I took a trip to Germany. We would know that in Germany, after a while, we become familiar with the clubs, we'd be familiar with the streets. But the other thing is, they have their own version of the Grammys. They don't call it that, but they have their own version. They have their own version of the Oscars. and the Tonys, but they call it something else where they honor their own. Black on Purpose TV, giving that example, is like Germany, in that we have our own TV shows, our own films, our own actors and actresses, and we honor them. So we're planning the BOP TV Awards, we're planning BOP Film Awards and screenings where we do things to honor and uplift, because those are our stars. We don't care about the other stars that you have. We have our own. And the 1.5 million people that watch, they love those stars because they want to see something different. And that's important.
You about to make me go through my whole Rolodex and book, because what you're talking about is going to require a lot of manpower. And I know a lot of people who are who want to submit their gifts to do this kind of work. So he's making me think. So I just want to put this out there to all my friends. I will be having a meeting with Michael. And if you want to be on that list of people that I can say these are good people who want to work, you might want to get in touch with me. You might want to send me a message or something like that. All right, so give all your information.
Okay.
You still got 3 minutes.
Nice. Okay. So you can watch us on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, on TiVo, smart TVs, and Blu-ray players. And you can visit our website, blackonpurposetv.com, where you can contact us, get all the information you need, and learn more about us. There's a short video on there when you go online, and it explains the network and our mission, which is a very, very positive mission and one that we really, really need.
So do you work with a lot of third-party people to like do production and things of that magnitude? Or
Yes.
Y'all have it in-house?
No, we work with others as well. We work with other production companies, people that are independent directors, independent producers, and some of them we guide. Like, they're new. They've never even done it before. And you follow what I'm saying? So It's about giving those opportunities. Like, when I started and I worked for Herb Abramson down in Atlantic, I mean, it was interesting because there you didn't have the schools for learning this stuff. You just interned. So 1 minute you're cleaning out the control room, next minute they say, come sit down next to me and watch what I'm doing, and then the next minute they're saying, run this show or record this,
Yeah.
But you're training along the way, kind of on-the-job training. And we don't have that anymore, and I want to bring that back, and I want to put musical instruments back in the hands of kids. We need to learn how to play instruments, because if not, we'll be a sampling society for the next 50 years, and we need to now create more organic things again.
Okay, why are you playing? I have a performing arts nonprofit, so that's a whole other conversation
okay.
too. See, I'm a man of million talents. I'm like, you have a man of million talents,
and the next lid gets uncovered. Look at that.
Yeah, we have to have a whole other meeting because I have a whole. Yeah, okay, we'll carry on. All right, so is that everything? Is that all your thoughts?
That's all my thoughts.
All right, so everybody, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, I was talking with the great Michael Campbell.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
Oh, glad. I'm honored to have you on this. I feel like it's going to be a takeover in another couple of years. So everybody have a great week. Thanks again to Michael Campbell and Black on Purpose Television,
everybody.
YouTube,
Peace.
Facebook Live. I will see you next week, same time, same place on the Leadership Blend with your host, Ricardo D. Rice. All right, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning
everybody.
in. Again, great thanks to Michael Campbell and Black on Purpose Television for this wonderful, amazing interview. There will definitely be more to come. I'm getting in on this. So not only are you going to see my face on TV, but you're going to see me in one of his offices because I'm going to be over there making this thing happen. It's a great vision. So I will see you all next week, same time, same place on the Leadership Blend with the host, Ricardo D. Rice. Say goodbye to the people, Mr. Campbell.
Bye, people.
Y'all have a good one.